Hey everyone, welcome to the High Priestess Demari channel and to another collective reading. I hope you're all doing well. Oh, this is not supposed to be it. So, yeah, I mean, there's a few things that I got, and it's funny because I had a day where I was taking a break, I wasn't working, I was just having some me time, and of course, I was still getting bombarded with messages. So, I figured, seeing as this one kept coming up, obviously, the divine want me to highlight this, so we're going to discuss it, but basically, it's not a good time to be someone who does a lot of baneful magic, okay, or has been doing some very questionable spiritual practices towards people who really haven't done much of anything, okay? So, yeah. I mean, there is a particular situation that's being highlighted when it comes to a group of people, a group of three, okay, who have been doing things that they shouldn't have been doing. And so, yeah, there are some severe consequences with that. And especially with everything that's happening, the transits that are occurring, excuse me, I need to get some water. The transits that are occurring, the planetary shifts, the solar activity, everything that's happening on the earth, within the earth, outside of the earth, now is really not the time for that, And if you're going to do that, make sure that you're doing it with good cause, right? And unfortunately, these people weren't, okay? So, yeah. A lot of this energy is not even being sent out to the intended target. If anything, it is engulfing the very people that are doing it. So we're going to have a look and see more about the situation. But it was definitely highlighting a group of three people who've been relentlessly trying to attack someone. All right, so we're going to have a look at that in more detail. So Holy Spirit, tell me about this group of three that has been actively targeting and attacking an individual here. Tell me about this, please. Yeah, so we have the King of Cups, the Five of Cups, the Magician, the Six of Cups. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Three of Pentacles. There's that group of three. So these three individuals are somehow connected to a King of Cups, okay? So this could be a masculine energy, okay, a male, or just someone who's in this King of Cups energy. So it doesn't have to be a man, okay, but it could be. This is someone who's essentially been emotionally withdrawn, okay, especially ever since realizing that a group of people, three individuals, okay, really are not for them, okay? So this person could have been targeted by three people that were part of their friendship group, their family, people they even work with, okay? But these were people that they once considered allies that are realizing were never for them in the first place, okay? So this is giving like frenemy energy, okay? With that Magician here, I do feel like now that this person is conscious and aware of what's been going on behind the scenes, they absolutely have the ability to alchemize any of the effects they had been feeling up until this point. But I just feel like whatever's being sent out now, especially if they up the ante, it's really not touching them, okay? But I just feel like when it comes to the residual energy or anything that they still feel like is lingering, okay, they absolutely have the power to transmute it, alchemize it, pour it into something else, right? And so, yeah, I feel like that may be something that they're starting to do, or they're starting to realize that they have this capacity to do so, or they may already be aware of this, but it just seems like this person is now invoking their power in the situation. Yeah, Six of Cups the Six of Cups being here following that as well. Yeah, this could very well be people that they've known for an extended period of time. This could have been even people they grew up with, so like childhood friends. This could even, like I say, be members of their own family, unfortunately. But it does seem like they've known these people for an extensive period of time. So even if they were like colleagues that became friends, right, they'd obviously been working together for a long time. But yeah, so I think that's what makes the situation a whole lot worse, is the fact that there has been history between them and these individuals, right? But I think they're realizing now just perhaps how they were being manipulated, played by this group of people, and how much of their power they were really giving away, okay? So tell me more about this King of Cups. Tell me more about this King of Cups. The Hierophant, yeah. So this could be someone who always does things by the book, okay, or tries to at least. Yeah, especially with that Hierophant here. This could be someone who's very traditional or has traditional values, principles, okay? There's certain boundaries that they just don't cross, okay? So it would never consider, it would never cross their mind that these people would do such things, okay? Especially if this person is religious, these people are religious, or maybe part of the same sort of, denomination, right? Maybe they go to the same church or they have the same spiritual beliefs. Maybe it goes against their religion, okay? So they would never consider that these people were the ones that were doing this, okay? But as we know, that doesn't really mean anything, right? What people show, how they present themselves, and then what they do behind closed doors is totally different, right? So that's what we got here. So this is someone who perhaps, does have a religious background, either that, or this is someone who just has some very strong principles, values, morals. And so anything that isn't aligned with those values or principles, they just, they distance themselves from. But it does feel like this person could be very conventional or very traditional, okay? Yeah. But again, that could be subject to change based on this experience, okay? Maybe this person's reevaluating certain things, but yeah, it just comes across that way, that this was possibly someone who was part of maybe some kind of religion or religious group, or, went to some kind of church or upheld certain traditions, beliefs, okay? That is now being shaken somewhat by what happened here, okay? Yeah, that Five of Cups there. Tell me more about this situation. Yeah, we have the King of Cups. King of Cups. King of Pentacles. Yeah. Yep. So this could be the ringleader, right? This King of Pentacles could be the ringleader. Especially with the Hierophant being here. This could even be a religious figure, okay? So this could be someone who actually leads like a congregation here, right? Especially with that, Taurus energy here with the King of Pentacles, the King of, to the Hierophant. I'm not saying they're a Taurus, but I'm just saying that this could be someone who is like, they could very well be a religious figure. This could be someone who is very well off financially. This could be someone who has an established position here, okay? But they are not how they present themselves. They are one way in the public, but then what they do behind closed doors is totally different. So even if this is someone who is actually a religious figure, they are a black magician behind closed doors. They're a dark magician. They do dark arts, baneful magic, okay? This is someone who is well-versed in the darker aspects of the occult, okay? And, this is someone who is a practicing magician. This is someone who does rituals, spells, summonings, incantations, okay? Things of that nature. So, yeah. And that's the thing. That in itself is not inherently terrible. It's just what you do, how you do it, and the intention behind it. And all of those things are very questionable where this person's concerned, okay? Like, this person is doing some very questionable shit, okay? Tell me more about this for the collective. Yeah, we have the Strength card here. So, yeah, there's definitely binding spells involved. I did get, that just reminded me. Sorry, I know it's, I'm kind of all jumping all over the place, but it's just how the energy's coming up. I did see as well that this person had been doing like shut up spells, like trying to bind this person from being able to speak up or see what's going on. And with the Strength card here, it just reminded me of that. So not only has this person been doing like binding spells, bind this person's will, they've also been doing like shut up spells, trying to stop them from speaking out or speaking on certain things. Maybe this person noticed something that was iffy about this person, or they may be suspecting that something's amiss. Because bearing in mind, King of Cups energy is someone who is very intuitive, okay? Very intuitive, very much connected to their emotional body. This is someone who gets cues, okay? So, yeah, I don't doubt that this person was picking up on something, but they try to blind this person, stop this person from being able to see what that is, okay? And, of course, from speaking up on it. So this could be why this person has been getting a series of like really intense spiritual attacks from this person, because they were picking up something intuitively about what this person's been doing behind closed doors, and they've been trying to like blind them to it, bind them, so they don't feel like they're able to speak up or are fearful to speak up, right? Especially if they feel like they are being spiritually attacked, which they, on some level, they know they have been, okay? But I just don't think they necessarily knew where it was coming from, but they're finding out now, okay? So if this is you, if you're this King of Cups, I think you are now aware of where it's coming from, but you may not understand why it's happening, okay? Yeah, you have the Nine of Wands, exactly. They wanted you to be in a fear state if this is you, okay? They wanted you to be afraid, disempowered, to feel stuck, to feel oppressed, okay? By these more malevolent forces that they've been conjuring and working with. Yeah, so this could even be one of those sort of fear-based preachers, right? Someone who's always promoting, like, you know, to live in fear, to be subservient to, you know, the will of God, when in reality this person is maniacal, power hungry. They want people to be fearful of them as opposed to, you know, the God they serve, which is in question here, to be honest with you. If you ask me, this is definitely not source, okay? You know, obviously everyone has different terminologies and names, okay, for the creator, for the grand architect, but this is not who they're in allegiance with. Let's put it that way, okay? Tell me more. Yeah, Three of Swords. And it's disappointing because you know this person. That's the thing. You know them very well. And again, this could be someone you grew up with. This could have even been like a mentor to you. This could have even been like your own family, right? So especially if you were like indoctrinated into some kind of religion or religious order or something like that, it could be your very own relatives that are doing this to you because they want you to conform, right? They want you to maintain the status quo. They want you to uphold certain traditions here. But I feel like you didn't realize just how dark some of these traditions really are, and that actually it's not how it's presented to the world, right? So it's presented as one thing when it's actually another. And I think that's where you're realizing that you kind of feel like that's why, okay, that makes sense. That's why your faith could be even in question right now, because you're realizing that you bought into the light. It wasn't even what you thought it was, right? That it's being packaged as one thing when it's actually something else. Yeah. And if this is not your relatives, yeah, this could have been people you grew up with, okay? That went to the same church as you, people that you became friends with, people that you knew, just being part of the same like community here. This could be people that, you know, were like elders to you, people you looked up to even, and you're realizing that they're actually extremely, you know, infernal in nature, right? And it's all about control and power with these people. Yeah, because that's what I'm seeing more than anything. Like, yeah, there could be a financial motive here with the King of Pentacles, right? But more than the finances, it's about power. Give me another one on this. Yeah, Ace of Swords. And that's what you're realizing. That's what you're coming to discover. That as soon as it became apparent that they were having a hard time controlling you, that's when they set out to bind your will to theirs. Yeah. And it's like, this is sick as well, because it almost feels like this group tried to trigger traumatic events in your life or pick at wounds that you're still healing, right? Or as you're still recovering from something here, they try to like tear you down again. So you feel like you would need them. So you feel like you'd have to go back. This is really heinous. Yeah, this is really heinous. Ace of Swords, I'm telling you, that's what they were trying to do. They wanted to bind your will to them, right? They wanted you to form a pact, a contract with them. Yeah. They want you to fall under their control. That's what it's all about, like I said. The Fool card. Because you wanted to carve out a path of your own. You wanted to find your own way. So they punished you for it. That's crazy. So I'm really sorry for whoever this is for, whoever went through this. I don't like doing these kinds of readings, but obviously someone needed some clarity or needed the confirmation. Like, no, you're not crazy. It's not something you're imagining. And yes, these people really did do that to you, okay? I am really sorry, man. Like, that's horrible. No one has the right to do this, okay? So please, if you are struggling right now, do not feel like you have to conform to whatever the hell these people want you to, just because they're trying to make your life difficult. No. Because I'm telling you, that ends now. And this is why, this is why this message is so important for you to hear, because this isn't going to fly moving forward, okay? There was a reason why Source wanted me to bring this message forward. The Divine wanted me to bring this message forward. And it's because you need to know that they can't touch you. They can't do anything anymore. Everything they send out is is not even going out anymore. It's sat with them. So they're going to feel what this energy feels like now. Yeah, Knight of Wands energy, exactly. You may have felt persecuted. You may feel persecuted, right? All because you wanted to carve out a path of your own, and, you weren't aligned with some of the values and the actions of these people. That's what you were coming to realize. So you tried to strike out on your own, and you were literally punished for it. That's crazy. Yeah, King of Cups energy, you. But don't let this stop you from doing that, okay? It's your life. You get to determine how you want to lead it. It's no one else's business at the end of the day. And also, especially when you're seeing how these people really are, how they really operate, is that something you really want to be a part of? I don't think so. Because it's so it's like so contradictory to your values, right? And that's the thing. Even if your faith in this religion or this order or this church or this temple, whatever it is, right, has been shaken up, that doesn't mean your values isn't still valid. That doesn't mean your perspectives aren't valid still. It's just, you can't put your faith in this order, this establishment, because, they have their own agendas. Yeah, Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, it's going to take time, obviously, because you're having to rebuild from the foundations up, but you can do it, okay? You definitely can do it. Or I'd say as well, you are very emotionally intelligent, okay? You understand the tactics that they employ. I just don't think you expected it to come from them, but it is what it is. So the best thing you can do is strike out on your own and rebuild, okay? And definitely tend to your own emotions right now. Whatever surfaces, you have to allow yourself to experience it, to sit with it, okay? I know you may want to stay stoic and seem unfazed, but no, you do need to navigate your emotions that surface, okay? Because without Three of Swords, yeah, you were definitely hurt, okay? Definitely emotionally affected, so you need time to process. Yeah, exactly. This was a betrayal. Seven of Swords. And it was very underhanded the way they did it as well. Very underhanded. And that's it. You see how he's holding the swords, and you have these crowned individuals all bowing to this demon, essentially. That's what it's about, control. They wanted you under the control of this order and whatever they're actually channeling or serving. Because I'm telling you, it's not anything benevolent, okay? But they're definitely into summoning and communing with something here of a darker nature. Yeah, we have the Six of Pentacles. Everything's going to balance out, okay? You may even find when you least expect it, when you move away from this environment and rebuild, that there are people that actually want to support you, okay? People that, may want to help you in some capacity. There are good people out there, okay? So don't let this experience stop you from seeing the good in the people that are out there, because they do exist, okay? And not everyone is going to want to control you. Some people literally want to assist you. They see someone who may be having a hard time or is clearly trying to rebuild from something, and they want to support. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah. So just be mindful that where you see that and you experience that, you don't assume that means they have an agenda as well. I know that's obviously going to be a bit of a trauma response, but yeah, that's just something to be aware of. So I'm just letting you know ahead of time that not everyone is going to want something from you, you know? But yeah, I understand taking your time to question, vet people and their motives, their true intentions, okay? But I feel like your intuition will sound the alarm if there's anything you have to worry about as well, okay? Yeah, the Magician. I'm telling you, this this is what they do. This is what they do. And they're invested. They've been doing this a long time. Like, whatever this group is, right? And these individuals, right? Because it does almost feel like they're at the sort of top of the pecking order when it comes to this organization, right? They've been doing this a long time. Okay, years. This is not something they're just dabbling in now. This is something that's, you know, well established. It almost feels like a cult within a church, something like that. It almost feels like that. Like a cult within a church, or this church is a front for some kind of cult here. Crazy. But obviously not everyone's privy to everything that's going on. Yeah, we have the Fool. So you're definitely being led, guided away from this environment and this group to have a new beginning here, okay? I just feel like obviously, you know, there are going to be people that are meant to come in to support you, but you also need to be mindful of anyone from this group that may try to intercept, right? So just be aware of that. They are very cunning, and I feel like they are very good when it comes to emotional manipulation, okay? So they'll try and convince you to stay. So it's better if you keep your moves very quiet this time. Don't let anyone from this establishment, group, order, church, whatever it is, right? Don't let anybody, and I mean nobody, know your moves, okay? That's really important because you don't know who's going to speak to who and what their intentions are. So keep it to yourself, okay? Yeah, we have the Emperor. Yeah, that's what it's all about. I do feel like it's a masculine, to be honest with you. Not just because masculine cards keep coming through, but it literally does feel like this is a masculine I'm speaking to. Either a male or someone who embodies masculine energy strongly. So you don't have to be a man to embody masculine energy strongly, right? But it's just about how your energy comes through and how you interact with the world, right? So this is someone who is very driven, very like action orientated, right? This is someone who has a tremendous amount of willpower and isn't afraid to act upon it, right? Which is why they want you so badly, because you're an emperor, okay? You show up in emperor energy, so your energy, your inner power, okay, is very, very potent. So they want it. They want to exploit it for themselves, right? So it's like, if we can't bring you into the fold, then we're going to bind you to our will, right? And use your energy for these rituals and summonings that we're doing. Yeah, Page of Pentacles. I don't feel like you're facing this situation alone. It does look like there is someone who's supposed to offer support, yeah? So I do see that. There is someone here who could be a friend of yours or an acquaintance or a new friend that you make after you move, especially with the number 11 here, right? 17. Yeah, this could be someone, right? Following the Fool. This could be someone that you meet after changing your environment, a friend that is going to support you, okay? This could even be someone who understands what you're going through. This could be someone who's been through it themselves, right? But I feel like, of course, you want to exercise caution and discernment. Just to make sure that, you know, whoever this person is legit, but it looks like they are. And like I said, we don't want to get into that energy where we assume everyone is the enemy. No, it's just there are specific people here that was part of this group. And it does feel like it could be a religious order, okay? That were up to no good, okay? Yeah. Ten of Pentacles, right, exactly. Ten of Pentacles and the Page of Cups. So this is the thing. I don't feel like this happened for no reason. You were meant to find this out. You were always meant to discover the true nature of this group because you were meant to establish something somewhere else. So you, with that Emperor being here, it's highly likely that you will create your own community, right? And it will be very abundant as well. Yeah, but with that Page of Cups, I do feel like it's going to be heart-led, heart-driven, okay? So even if this is like a business you establish, a business empire, or even if it is something that's rooted in like religion or spirituality, I do feel like it's going to be very abundant, very blessed, okay? Very fruitful, you know? But I feel like it's not just you that benefits from it because it's Ten of Pentacles energy. There's multiple people who will benefit from it, right? So it's almost like you had to experience the negative polarity of the Ten of Pentacles in this structure to know what you're not aligned with, what is at conflict with your own spirit, so you can build the very opposite of this, right? This is like the antithesis of what you came here to do, okay? Like, it couldn't be any more opposite. So the fact that you have experienced this is going to help you create something that doesn't fall into this energy because you already know how this can occur, right? You already see the dangers of seeking control and power and influence above all else, right? Especially over a group of people. So for you, you're always going to be checking within yourself, right? What your intentions are. And if you're coming from an authentic place, from the heart, or if it's coming from greed. And I just don't think that's how you're going to move, which is why you're going to be abundant, okay? So it makes a lot of sense. So this may be why, you know, it was so important for you to hear this message, not just for you to be aware of the intention behind it, but what it's leading to. Like, it happens often this way. Like, if you have like a profound calling, if you are someone who is meant to do something significant, right? Doesn't matter how big or small, but if you were meant to do something significant, that impacts the lives of others, then yeah, often you will experience the negative polarity or the darker aspect of that before you get to experience the lighter aspect or the more positive, you know, polarity of that energy, right? Of those circumstances. You know, so it's very much giving that energy. So this is it. So you know exactly what to spot, what to avoid, and to be very discerning with who you build with as well, you know. Yeah, Ace of Cups and the Strength card. Again, that discernment, that discipline, okay? And always checking in with your own heart. Ace of Cups, right? You are the vessel. You are the Holy Grail at the end of the day. So you want to make sure that your energy is pure. And in whatever you're pouring into what you create, your build, is coming from that place, right? It's coming from the heart and not from wanting power or control, right? Yeah, but that's where that discipline comes in. That's where shadow work comes in, okay? Healing those wounds. That's where it comes to, you know, having that balance, right? But I feel like you've got nothing to worry about, especially after experiencing this, being on this side of the fence. Because at the end of the day, you had the choice, right? This was a very crucial junction in your journey, crossroads you found yourself at, where you could choose. You could go one way or the other, right? You could follow suit and become the very thing that you are in disagreement with, okay? By continuing to be part of this order, this group, this community, whatever it is, right? And possibly even becoming, you know, that leader yourself one day. Or you can break away from that and establish something entirely of your own that is rooted in your principles, your values, okay? Because at the end of the day, the values that you hold, even if it was taught by some surface level sermon from this person, right, growing up, or whatever the case may be, that doesn't change that you believe in those values. Like, you are holding true to them. So it really doesn't matter if this person was lying, okay? They were real for you, and they still are. So they're not these people's values, they're yours, okay? So you can still take them with you and even expand upon it, okay? Yeah, so don't feel like, oh, well, everything's aligned, what's the point? No, like, those values, those principles still hold true, right? At least for you. So keep that in mind, take that with you, right? And build upon that, expand upon it, what you feel like is really aligned with, you know, the higher path, balance, okay, what you think is right. But just make sure that you don't become the very thing that you're walking away from by trying to enforce your will on others, you know, because at the end of the day, even when you build this community or this, you know, establishment, this business, whatever it is, everyone's going to be different and everyone's going to have somewhat different opinions, right? But it's just about energy. Like, are these people that you can truly build with? Do they have good intentions? You know, do they have good principles? Yeah. Are they also compassionate, caring with the Queen of Cups? Yeah. And we have the High Priestess here as well. So there's that intuition. And the Ten of Pentacles. So you may be building with a particular person, okay, who may be very spiritually inclined as opposed to religious. That's possible. Or just someone who's highly intuitive, highly sensitive to energy, right? Very empathic, right? Very attuned, spiritually attuned, right? But this could be someone who is very knowledgeable in things of a spiritual nature, okay? But the other side of it. And with that Ten of Pentacles, this could be someone instrumental in helping you build. So again, that could be this Ace of Pentacles person that we saw. Yeah, take your time to know them, to get to really vet their character and what they're really about. But this could be someone who can understand your journey, because it does look like this is someone who's very giving. Again, we saw that generous energy. But again, the negative side of this energy is that this can be someone who's taken advantage of, right? So yeah, as long as they have that balance as well, I think you guys are going to be just fine. Yeah, Temperance, exactly. So it's very healing. That's it. You're both healers, right? You both have the capability to bring healing, change, to build something that is going to positively impact not just your lives, but others. Yeah, look, that Page of Pentacles energy. So this feels like someone who's in your corner, support, right? This could be someone who acts like a support system, or someone who literally helps you build this community from the ground up. So someone who sees your vision, believes in the vision, maybe even shares the same vision, okay? With that Two of Swords, I feel like you don't even know that this person is meant to be a part of it. You have the Ten of Cups as well. Ten of Pentacles, Ten of Cups, Nine of Pentacles. Wow, okay. So this person could have like a family, okay, or a community that are very, very close, very connected, okay? This could be more centered around like, you know, like acts of kindness, compassion, things of that nature, right? This person could be a healer, to be honest with you. That energy is coming up. But this is someone who's very abundant as well, okay? This is someone who has a lot to bring to the table also, which is why I feel like the two of you are being led to cross paths so you can build together, work together. I mean, for someone, it's possible that this could be someone you end up in a relationship with if they are single, right? But yeah, I just feel like, you know, more than anything, this could be someone that you're meant to build with, okay? Especially when it comes to some kind of community or business, right? But yeah, it just feels like you're definitely on different trajectories from where you both came from. Yeah, the Death card here, right? So major changes are coming in for you. Nine of Cups, your wish fulfillment. Yeah, exactly. Queen of Pentacles. So yeah, and the World card. So this is mad. This is powerful, okay? The two of you are ready to build. That's why I see the Queen of Pentacles and the World card. You're both willing to roll up your sleeves and be the change. Create the change, right? Six of Wands and the Hanged Man, exactly. You had to go through this experience to learn, right? To learn what needed to change, what you needed to see, to not ignore your intuition when it comes to the true nature of things, regardless of how they present. But I'm telling you, now that you're striking out on your own and building yourself, okay, not building someone else's dream, which is nefarious, okay, but building your own, it's going to be successful. 6 of Wands, okay? So whether, like I say, this is a business, a community, an organization, whatever the case may be, it's going to flourish, okay? So just know that this situation is permanently coming to an end. You don't have to worry about this moving forward, okay? Things are balancing out in the equation with the 6 of Pentacles, all right? It's just you had to come to accept the truth. Yeah, exactly, the Sun, right? Get clarity, see it for what it really is, so that you can actually align with what's truly you and for you, okay? What's really indicative of your true nature. Exactly, look at that, the devil wanted to show the bottom, right? Look how it was sliding out, right? I'm telling you, you needed to see it for what it really is. That this is rooted in something infernal, and they were literally binding your will and trying to take your power from you, right? But now you're aware. So crazy. So whoever, I have no idea who this is for because this is very specific, but obviously someone needed to hear that. You may, if this isn't you, this could be someone that you're connected to, okay, that you know is going through something like this. And if that's the case, I'm telling you, this person is set to do something significant here, and this is why they've been through this, okay? But the positive thing from this is that this person's going to know exactly what they don't want to be, right? And to focus on becoming or just simply being and building what they really feel like is aligned with their heart and spirit, right? So it is unfortunate they experienced this. It's horrible. But at least they know that they are nothing like this. So they really don't have to worry about becoming another version of this character here, you know, this Hierophant that we saw. If anything, they're going to build something so much greater and something that is actually going to flourish, something very positive, you know. So again, just speaks to their true nature. So guys, I hope this helped whoever needed this message. Thank you for checking it out. If you did find it interesting, hit the thumbs up. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Yeah, we're going to be doing more readings. This is just something that kept coming up. So yeah, I thought I better look into it in a deeper level. But yeah, stay tuned and I will speak to you soon. Bye.